Good day. This is our video presentation. Our topic is all about ecosystem. An ecosystem is a complete community of living organisms and the non-living materials of their surroundings. Its components include plants, animal, soil, microorganisms, rocks, and minerals, as well as surrounding water sources and the local atmosphere. Ang ecosystem ay isang komunidad ng mga may buhay tulad ng halaman, hayop at mikrobyo, at mga walang buhay tulad ng tubig, hangin, lupa, bato at klima na nagtutulungan at umaasa sa isa't isa para mabuhay. Ito ay parang isang malaking pamilya kung saan lahat ng bagay ay magkakaugnay.
Abiotic components, physical factors, sunlight, temperature, and humidity. Chemical factors, carbon dioxide, water, hydrogen. Physical na mga salik. Ito ay ang mga buhay na bagay na may physical na katamihan, tulad ng sinag ng araw, temperatura, lumigwid. Chemical naman. Ito ay ang mga hindi buhay na bagay na may chemical na katamihan, tulad ng carbon dioxide, tubig at hydrogen.
Number 1, consumers. Consumers are organisms that depends on their living organisms for food to get energy. They cannot make their own food. Consumers are divided into 3 types based on what they eat. Herbivores eat only plants. Carnivores eat only other animals. Omnivores eat both plants and animals. Number 2, decomposers. Decomposers are biotic factors that break down dead plants, animals, and animal waste. They help recycle nutrients back into the environment. Example, bacteria, fungi, and detritivores.
Function of ecosystem. It regulates the essential ecological process support life system and renders stability. Dito po, ang ecosystem ay mahalaga sa pagpatakbo ng mga likas na proseso sa kalikasan. Itong sistema na tumutulong upang mapanatiling maayos at matatag ang ugnayan ng mga buhay at organismo sa kanilang kapaligiran. Number 2, it is also responsible for the cycling of nutrients between biotic and abiotic components. Dito po, isa rin itong mahalagang daluyan ng pag-ikot sustansya tulad ng tubig, hangin at pagkain sa pagitan ng mga buhay at di buhay sa bahagi ng kalikasan. Number 3, it maintains the balance among the various traffic levels in ecosystem. Sa ecosystem, mayroong ugnayan ng iba't ibang uri ng antas ng mga organismo sa food chain o trophic levels. Sinisigurado ng ecosystem na balansyado ang bilang ng papel ng mga tao mula sa halaman hanggang sa mga kumakain ng karne.
Number 4, it recycles the mineral through the biosphere. Ang paglipat ng mineral sa buong mundo is isa rin itong mekanismo o mapalipat-lipat ang mga mahalagang mineral sa buong biosphere na siyang mapayapa sa iba't ibang anyo ng buhay at daigdig. Number 5, the abiotic components help in the synthesis of organic component of organic that involve the exchange of energy. Tulong ng di buhay na bahagi sa buhay na proseso. Kahit ang mga di nabubuhay na bahagi ng kalikasan gaya ng araw, tubig at hangin ay may mahalagang papel sa paglikha ng mga organic na bagay na mahalaga para sa enerhiya at buhay.
Food chain. A food chain describes how energy and nutrients move through an ecosystem. At the basic level, there are plants that produce the energy. Then it moves up to higher level organisms like herbivores. After that, when carnivores eat the herbivores, energy is transferred from one to the other. Nilalaman ng food chain ang lunar sequence ng mga organismo kung saan ang mga sustansya at energy ay nililipat sa isang organismo. At patungo sa isang pang mga pamamagitan ng mga pangkonsumo. Nagsisimula ito sa mga producer, gumagalaw at ibang antas ng consumer, at nagtatapos sa mga decomposer. Ang bawat organismo ay sumasabog sa isang tiyak na antas ng trophic na kumakatawan sa posisyon sa kadena.
Food web consists of the food chain in a single system. Each living thing in a system is a part of multiple food chain. Each food chain is one possible path that energy and nutrient may directly move from the ecosystem. Ang bawat buhay ng organismo sa isang ecosystem ay bagay ng food chain ay isang posibleng landas kung saan dumadaan ang enerhiya at sustansya habang gumagalaw ito sa ecosystem.
Energy flow in ecosystem. The flow of energy in ecosystem unidirectional because energy loss as heat from the living organisms as a food chain cannot be reused by plants in photosynthesis. During the transfer of energy through successive trophic levels in the ecosystem, there is a loss of energy on a long path. Energy flow in ecosystem follows second law of thermodynamics. Energy neither be created nor destroyed. Energy can be used to convert from one form to another. Ang daloy ng enerhiya sa ecosystem ay isang direction lamang, mula sa araw papunta sa mga halaman, hayop at decomposers. Sa bawat paglipat ng enerhiya, may mga namapanang bahagi ng mundo. Kaya hindi ito bumabalik sa simula. Ito ay ayon sa second law of thermodynamics na nagsasabing bawat paglipat ng enerhiya ay bahagi nito na nawawala at hindi na nagagamit muli.
Energy pyramid. An energy pyramid, also known as a trophic or ecological pyramid, is a graphical representation of the energy found within the trophic levels of an ecosystem. The bottom and the largest level of the pyramid is the producer and contains the largest amount of energy. The energy distribution of an ecosystem is based on energy pyramid. Most energy comes from base, sourced from producer and consumed by the day, while less energy comes from the lower layer, sourced from omnivorous, herbivores, and carnivores.
Types of energy pyramid. 1. Pyramid of numbers. In this type of ecological pyramid, the number of organisms in each trophic level is considered as level in a pyramid. The pyramid of number is usually upright except for some situation like that one detritus food chain where many organisms feed on one dead plant or animal. The pyramid of numbers is ecological concept used to show the number of organisms at each trophic level in a food chain. It typically displayed as a pyramid-shaped diagram where each level represents a different group of organisms, starting from producer at the base to top to predators at the top.
Pyramid of biomass. In this particular type of ecological pyramid, each level takes into account of the amount of biomass produced by each topical level. The pyramid of biomass is also upright except for that. Observed in ocean where a large of numbers, the planktons depends on relatively smaller numbers of planktons. This is my explanation. Sa ganitong uri ng ekolohiya ng pyramid, isinaalang-alang sa bawat antas na dami ng biomass o kabuuang bigat ng mga nabubuhay na organismo sa bawat trophic o level. Antas ng pagkain sa food chain, karaniwan ang pyramid ng biomass ay tuwid o upright. Ibig sabihin, mas mabigat o mas marami ang biomass sa mga mas mababang antas tulad ng halaman o producer at unti-unting nababawasan habang tumataas sa mga hayop na kumakain ng ibang consumers. Ngunit, mas exception ito sa karagatan, sa dagat, mas maraming zooplankton o maliliit na hayop na lumulutang sa tubig. Ang umaasa sa ganitong bilang ng phytoplankton o o maliliit na halaman o algae. Dahil dito, baliktad ang pyramid o biomass. Sa mga karagatan o ecosystem, mas kaunti ang biomass na naproproduce kaysa sa consumers. Sa madaling sabi, ang pyramid o biomass ay nagpapakita kung gaano kabigat o karami ang buhay sa bawat antas ng pagkain sa kalikasan. Sa tuwid, ito sa lupa o pero baligtad sa dagat dahil sa kakaibang ugnayan ng mga organismo roon.
Pyramid of energy. Pyramid of energy is the only type of ecological pyramid which is always upright, as the energy flow in a food chain is always unconditional. Also, with ever increasing topic level, some energy is lost into the environment. This is explanation. Ang pyramid of energy ay isang uri ng ecological na pyramid na palagi nakatayo ng tuwid, upright. Ito ay dahil sa daloy ng enerhiya sa isang food chain ay palaging isang direksyon lamang mula sa producer papunta sa mga consumer. Sa bawat susunod na antas na trophic, halimbawa mula sa mga halaman papunta sa mga hayop na kumakain ng mga halaman, tapos sa mga hayop kumakain na ibang hayop. May mga bahagi ng enerhiya na nawawala sa kapaligiran bilang init o ibang anyo ng enerhiya. Kaya habang tumataas ang antas ng trophic, mawawa ang dami ng enerhiya na natatanggap. Ibig sabihin, hindi pwedeng baliktarin ang pyramid na ito dahil hindi pwedeng bumalik ang enerhiya pabalik sa producer wala sa consumer. At palaging may energy loss sa bawat hakbang ng pagkain, kaya palaging mas malaki ang enerhiya sa base ng mga producer at mas maliit sa mga tutok ng mga carnivore of topic consumer.
Environmental awareness involves the gradual understanding of environmental issues and the recognition of the connections among human actors. Development, sustainability, and human responsibility in this process. Environmental awareness, ito yung pagiging aware ng tao sa kung ano yung nangyayari sa surroundings nila, sa environment. Responsibilidad natin pangalagaan ito dahil tayo naman gumagamit. What is environmental education? It's defined by Asian Development Bank. It is the process by which people develop awareness, concern, knowledge of the environment and its diverse values and processes, and learn to use this understanding to preserve, conserve, and utilize the environment in a sustainable manner for benefit of the present and future generations. Paano environmental awareness? Environmental education is yung pagkakaroon natin ng knowledge kung ano nga ba yung environment na nasa paligid natin, kung paano gamitin ito, kung paano i-preserve, kung paano i-conserve, para at paano paggamit ito para hindi maapektuhan yung magagamit ng future generations.
Ang sustainable development ay ang konsepto na ang mga tao ay dapat matugunan ang kanilang mga pangangailangan ngayon nang hindi inaagaw o sinisira ang kakayahan ng mga susunod na henerasyon na matugunan din ang kanilang mga pangangailangan. Ito ay paraan ng pag-organisa ng lipunan upang mabuhay ng matagalan habang pinoprotektahan ang likas na yaman at kapaligiran para sa kinabukasan.
Environmental management. Environmental management is the practice of organizing human activities in order to limit their impact on the natural environment. Sa environmental management, ito yung paraan para sa pag-ayos ng mga gawain ng tao para mabawasan ang masamang epekto nito sa kalikasan. Parang paglilinis ng bahay, naayos natin ang mga gamit para hindi magulot-lutunin. Mahalaga ito para mapanatili ang balanse ng ecosystem at maprotektahan ang mga likas na yaman. Dahil nitong mapanatili ang kalusugan ng ating planeta para sa susunod na henerasyon. Environmental degradation is a process through which the natural environment is compromised in some way, reducing biological diversity and the general health of the environment. Sa environmental degradation naman, ito naman ay pagkasira ng kalikasan dahil sa mga gawain ng tao, nawawala ang biodiversity, iba-ibang uri ng halaman tayo at nasisira ang kalusugan ng kapaligiran para pagkasira ng isang magandang tanawin dahil sa basura. Maaari itong magdulot ng mga sakuna tulad ng pagbaha, at landslide, kailangan natin itong maiwasan para mapanatiling ligtas ang magandang ating lunas.
Good day everyone. Today, I like to talk about a very important topic that affects all of us. Resource conservation. What is resource conservation? Resource conservation means that the ethical use and protection of valuable natural resources like trees, water, minerals, wildlife, and soil and air. It focuses on maintaining the natural world so we don't run out the resources we need to survive. Why is it important? Natural resources are not unlimited. If we don't take care of them, they will eventually disappear. Resource conservation helps to protect our environment, reduce pollution, save energy and water, preserve nature for future generations. Some of the most important natural resources that we should conserve are forests. They give us oxygen and provide shelter for wildlife. Water. We need it for drinking, cleaning, and growing food. Minerals. Used in construction and technology. Wildlife. They keep our ecosystem in balance. Air and soil. Clean air and healthy soil are essential for life. Here are some easy and powerful ways we can help conserve our natural resources. Reduce, reuse, recycle, save water, save energy, plant trees, avoid single-use plastic, support eco-friendly products. Resource conservation is shared responsibility that we can all take part in every day. Remember, when we conserve nature, we secure our future. Let's work together to take care of the planet, one small action at a time.